everybody, and happy Valentine's Day. I'm so glad that you're coming and looking at this video here today. And just like the description says, we're going to be doing an object lesson for Valentine's Day. So last night, me and my husband was trying to figure out what to do for our lesson for our class. And we were thinking about, obviously talking about, God's love for us, or how we should love God, or even how we should love others. However, we had already been covering this over the last few weeks. That's all we've been talking about, is making sure that we're loving others and making sure that we love God and knowing that God loves us, and that's why He came. So we've been talking about all these kinds of things already. And so he's like, it doesn't make sense to just keep drilling that into the kids. They already know this. We've been talking about this for a while now. So we brainstormed and we came up with this object lesson. So for this object lesson, you're going to need two candy tins or candy hearts that has the candies inside of them. I got a bigger one and a smaller one because while I was at the store, I was thinking about the lesson, and I was going to get two that was exactly the same, but decided to go this route, and you'll understand more why here in just a minute. So just get you two of these, and they can be the same size, it doesn't matter. I just thought it would be cool for the kids to see the difference. And then also, the next thing you're going to need is rocks. So I just have here, let's see if you can see those. I have rocks from our rock bed. I just went out there, got some rocks from the rock bed, and put them in this cup, the kids' cup. Okay, so what you're going to need to do to set up for this object lesson is, with the small heart, nothing other than taking out the outer wrapping so that you can open it easily. And then with the big one, however, you are going to be removing all of the candies out of the candy heart. And you're going to be replacing those with rocks. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, aha, I know exactly where she's going with this. But for those of you that don't understand, the rocks going into this instead of candy is going to represent what is in our hearts, and making sure that our hearts are not hardened, and that we are loving the way that we're supposed to, and we're doing all the things we're supposed to, and we're getting all that sin out of our lives. So I'm going to just take a moment and take all the candies out of this, put the rocks in here, and I'll kind of do a short version of what I'm going to do tonight. I actually haven't written it out, so it's all in my brain. I do that a lot, but it's just how I work. A lot of times I'll just jot down some notes, and then, I let the Lord lead me in my lessons. So let me show you how that goes. Okay, so now we have our object lesson set up and ready to go, and here's how I'm going to implement that. Remember, this is just a quick overview of what I'm going to talk about. It's not actually the full lesson, but kind of make it your own and go with that. So we're going to start our class off because today is Valentine's Day. We're going to start our class off with a video of Esther. And so our Bible lesson will be Esther. And we're going to talk about the difference between Mordecai and Haman and their heart condition. And we're going to, that's the direction this object lesson is going. So first we're going to let them watch I think it's about a half an hour clip. It's a VeggieTales clip. So we're going to let them watch that. And then and while they're doing that, they're going to eat their treats that we're taking them, some Valentine's cupcakes and that kind of thing. So we're not wasting time. We're actually incorporating that into like our snack time. A little bit of time will be wasted, but they're also getting their Bible story through the movie. So after that, and after they've had their snack, and after they've watched the clip, we will do a brief overview and talk about the story of Esther, just in an overview, so that make sure that they understood what was happening in the story. And then I will bring out my candy hearts. And I'm going to talk about the candy hearts like this. I'm going to say, which one of these hearts would you guys prefer? And being preteens, most of them I'm hoping will say this one. If not, that's okay. I'll just continue on with the lesson as planned. So I'll ask them why they want this one more, and they'll probably say because there's more candy in it, it's bigger, that kind of stuff. And I'll say, you know, looks can be deceiving. And then we'll begin to talk about Haman and how he was high in power, and he looked like he had a lot of things in his life, and he had a lot going for him. But on the inside of him, it was not a pretty picture. And we'll talk about Mordecai, and we'll talk about him and how, you know, he didn't look like he had too much. And he, you know, he didn't look like something that, you know, anybody wanted to aspire to try to become and that kind of thing. But in his heart, he was good. And so I will open up, as I'm talking about this, I will open up my candy hearts and I will show them, and I'll have my husband there and he'll have one heart and I'll have the other so we can hold them side by side at the same time. And we'll show them that the outside of people can be deceiving and they can look the way they want people to think that they are. But on the inside, they can be hiding all kinds of sin and all kinds of things that they don't want people to know. And we'll talk about making sure that we clean out our heart and that we replace these yucky things with things that we want. And make sure that whenever we clean this out, that we're replacing it with the things we want, the things of God. And that will be desirable to the people around us, the people who truly get to know us. So that's basically how the object lesson I'm hoping goes tonight. If you guys have any questions, suggestions, if you liked this object lesson, or if you have any suggestions on how to improve this object lesson, I would love to know by you just leaving a comment down below. And I'll see you guys next time.